welcome to Joy Newsroom. Welcome to you live from DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, and of course all our social media handles were Joy News on TV. Coming up, NADMO and Fire Service wants Central Region residents to adhere to flood alerts and safety advisories after heavy rains triggered the collapse of a building, killing 2 persons. Also, former Deputy Energy Minister calls for urgent funding of GNPC, Petroleum Hub, and other agencies to forestall any looming fuel crisis.
What is the implication of that to us, especially when we have to import almost all our finished product into the country? That is obviously going to have an effect on us. I mean, GNPC was very clear.
We have details from the ongoing retreat at Royal Senchi, where the National Petroleum Authority is vowing to tighten its sanctions to clamp down on illegal fuel stations.
Set up a filling station, and when we quote unquote you are caught and you can come back and pay 20,000 and have your license, then there's really no disincentive.
And it is the final day of the first mini clinic of the EcoBank Journeys Habitat Fair. We'll take you live to Achimota Retail Center to hear from vendors and patrons. Remember, we are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Please stay for details. Thanks for choosing us. Former Deputy Minister for Energy Collins Adumaku-Mensah has called for an urgent funding of major agencies in the energy sector. The move, he says, is necessary to position the country to absorb global threats to fuel prices coming from the Iran-Israel war, which has led to sharp increase in global crude prices. Speaking to journalists at an energy committee retreat at Royal Senchi in the Eastern region, Collins Adumaku-Mensah bemoaned government's severe budget cut to major sector players, including GNPC, who need money to undertake some more exploration, which he warns could pose a serious threat to the country.
GNPC, because of their Voltairean Basin prospects, will need some money to do some drilling the first quarter of next year. Unfortunately, this year's budget, as presented by the finance minister, saw some cuts in their budget, and so they have requested that we speak to the finance minister, making a case to us, and also hoping that we also make a case in Parliament on the floor, and to the minister to consider them during the media review. I think last year or last week we also had opportunity to meet Petroleum Hub. They also have a major cut in their expenditures. These are issues that we intend to have a discussion on the floor with the Speaker, leadership, and finally the Finance Minister to see how best he can accommodate them in the media review. Because as you know, Iran is an oil-producing country, and they produce quite a significant amount of oil for the international markets. And just the announcement of the escalation, you all saw what happened to the crude prices. Overnight, it went above $70. If it continues this way, we should expect it to go even higher. What is the implication of that to us, especially when we have to import almost all our finished product into the country? That is obviously going to have an effect on us. I mean, GNPC was very clear. They need a lot of investors. You know, yesterday they announced to us the Pecan field, where one Russian company was assisting in getting it done. Most of their financiers had to pull back because of the Russian-Ukraine war, because the idea is that if you assist them, you are assisting the war. So they have a challenge, a big challenge, and it's going to affect all of us. We just pray that as time goes on, cool heads will prevail, and then some peace will prevail in that area.
Well, the National Petroleum Authority has also appeared before the committee on Saturday, where the acting chief executive officer, Edichik Tamaklo, revealed they are taking steps to clamp down on all illegal fuel stations across the country.
One of the things that we are looking forward to is a possibility of increasing the penalties because as we speak now, the penalties are so low. If somebody does a diversion and is charged for, say, 15,000 cedis, it's not punitive enough. And so some of these things keep occurring. You have a situation where somebody can just go and set up a fuel station, and later he will now come to us for license when he has set it up already. And the penalty for such activity is less than 20,000. So if you set up a filling station and when we quote unquote you are caught and you can come back and pay 20,000 and have your license, then there's really no disincentive to stop people from engaging in such activity. So at the right time, we'll be approaching the committee so that we can look at a review of the penalties, particularly. If the penalty, we believe that if the penalties are punitive enough, it will discourage those unscrupulous people from setting up filling stations in unauthorized places. We all remember the events that happened at Atomic, Hacho. And the panic is set in the whole system. We are trying so well to ensure that we minimize those incidents.
My colleague James Aveji joins us live from Royal Senchi, where it's day 2 of that engagement between key committee members and stakeholders. James, we know that Petroleum Hub Development Corporation, they have been engaging the committee and they're making a case for some 300 million cedis. What exactly is their justification?
Well, firstly, we are learning that the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation has secured some over 20,000 acres of land in the Jomoro area, which is supposed to host the entire hub, which would include some, petrol distillation companies, as well as other sectors of the other players of the sector. The land would also include some Ramsar sites, as well as vegetations, which will all come together to put up the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation. What we are learning from the CEO, the acting CEO of the hub, is that they urgently need to compensate the people and the chiefs from which these lands have been taken from or procured from for this development. And so they are pushing for some 300 million Ghana cedis in order to pay all of these compensations while they prepare to begin construction processes. The entire project, we are told, would cost some $1.2 billion US, and it is going to be a public-private partnership where other entities, including foreign entities who would want to set up within the enclave, would also come around to, put up their companies in order to improve building of storage capacity, as well as distillation capacity of the country. As we know, the only national petrol refinery we have is the Tama Oil Refinery, which has undergone some challenges or experienced some challenges over the years and have not been in full operation for a long time. Centro, a private company, has been set up just 2 years ago and are in operation. And so, as part of government's agenda, in order to improve the national storage capacity as well as national refinery capacity through the Petroleum Corporation development, that is what they are calling for now, in order to settle the landowners and have full authority over the land. Then they can invite other investors, either domestic or international, to come and help government in the development of this area. And so that's exactly what they want the 300 million Ghana cedis for, as the acting CEO, Tony Obing, has been telling us after that engagement with the committee.
James, what else came up during the meeting?
A number of the corporations have been meeting the committee. The minority, for instance, have been making a serious call. The deputy ranking on the committee, who is also a former deputy energy minister, Collins Adumako Mensah, in that call he made, is cautioning government against complacency in building up capacity reserve in the face of the ongoing Iran Israel war. He said that, yesterday the CEO for the NPA, Adoji Tamakulu, mentioned that we have, in essence, of over 2 months reserve in the face of this war, and so there is no fear for alarm, there's no cause to panic. The minority believes that government must exercise some restraints, must not be complacent in this issue. And so, because as we know, just this dawn, we've heard about U.S. stepping in also in the war. And so they believe that there's no end in sight for this particular war. And so government must look for other alternatives to bring in fuel to build up our reserves so that we are not caught up in the middle of all of this. And so we are expecting BOSS as well as the thermal oil refinery themselves to appear before the committee in the last day of engagement, so we know exactly the position of TOR as we speak and what the future holds for them under a new management. Faustina.
Thank you, James Abeji. We'll come back to you later in subsequent bulletins just to get updates on that engagement. Away from that, let's take you now to the Ashanti region, where the National Disaster Management Organization is urging residents in the central region to take flood warning seriously, following a deadly collapse of a story building in Cape Coast. 2 people were confirmed dead after torrential rains in the early hours of Saturday caused the dilapidated brick structure to cave in. A third victim, 22-year-old Frederick Yeboah, was rescued from the rubble and rushed to the hospital for treatment. In an interview with Joy News Central Regional NADMO Director Kwesi Dawood stressed the importance of adhering to early flood alerts and safety advisories. He noted that repeated warnings often go unheeded, leading to avoidable tragedies.
We hope and pray seriously that citizens in and around this area will use today's incidents as a wake-up call to adhere to the necessary early warning mechanisms we have been deploying from time to time to help us in combating these kind of avoidable disasters. We mapped out the necessary flood-prone areas, did extensive public education, where as part of our early warning mechanisms, we activated this mechanism, informed residents living in the low-lying areas and designated flood-prone areas that the information at our disposal from the Emergency Operations Command as well as the Meteorological Service indicates that there's going to be heavy rainfall this year. And as such, we needed them to move to the designated safe havens so that in case there is incidents of flooding, we wouldn't have this kind of devastation.
Meanwhile, the Deputy PRO of the Ghana National Fire Service in the region, ADO1 Ebenezer Dazi, is cautioning residents to secure the necessary building permits before putting up any structures. He emphasized that improper construction in flood-prone areas continues to put lives at risk.
We always advise the public that before they put up a building, they need to seek permits from the Assembly and that of the Ghana National Fire Service as well. We need to advise them on their building plans so that we will know that exactly what is on the plan is exactly what is going to be on grounds. But mostly people don't do it like that, and then they also purchase inferior goods in putting up this building. So we advise that we need to employ qualified technicians, qualified engineers, wherever we are building, so that they put up the building for us.
Let's do some politics now. Former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has made a striking revelation about the role religion may have played in the party's electoral performance. In a heartfelt call to the party to be united, the 2024 MPP presidential candidate declared he would not contest if it turns out his religious background contributed to the party's defeat. He is, however, urging members of the party to put aside division and unite ahead of the 2028 elections.
It is very, very important, therefore, that we don't allow people to come in with explanations that are not factual, that are made up, and that divide our party. We are a united party, encompassing people from all ethnic groups, all religions, and we are part of the elephant family. It is therefore very important that we do not allow people, for the sake of political advantage, to break us apart as a party. I'm saying this because recently people are going religious and tribal. People are going religious and tribal. That is dangerous for the new patriotic party. It's very dangerous for us if you go in that direction. What is clear and is stated in black and white in the Okwei report, as well as all the other studies, is that religion and tribe were not factors in the 2024 election results. They were not factors. They were not factors. We should not try to inject to say that Christians will not vote for Bawumia. My 4.7 million votes, were there only Muslims who voted? It's not possible. There were all who voted for me. When Kufuor lost, did we say religion? When Mills lost, did we say religion? When Nana Akufo-Addo lost, did we say religion? No, that is not a factor. But people want to make it a factor for political reasons. For political reasons. If in fact that was the case, I wouldn't have contested at all. I would have stepped aside if that is the case, because I'm not a selfish person. I value the party. I'm not. I would have, if that was the case, I would have stepped aside, because I will not jeopardize the ability of the party to win the 2028 election. It's too important. I would have stepped aside, but I don't think that is the case. And people are trying to, without data.
The Executive Director of non-governmental organization Ghana Youth Guide, Abdul Fatawa, has called on government to establish systems that support and strengthen small-scale farmers in their operations. He also emphasized the need to enhance the capacity of the Ghana Meteorological Agency to deliver timely and accurate weather forecasts, which would significantly benefit farmers. He made these remarks during the launch of a resilient route of intervention project in Tamale. There's more in the following report.
The initiative aims to foster a new generation of young farmers who will drive agricultural transformation in the area. It will help equip the young people with the necessary knowledge, skills, and resources to adopt to climate-resilient agricultural practice. The project is being implemented in the Saviligu and Tolong districts. At the launch, the executive director of the organization, Chentiwuni Abdul Fattah, highlighted that investing in the youth can lead to innovative solutions.
We aim to equip young people with the knowledge, skills, and resources needed to adapt to climate-resilient agricultural practices, improve food security, and contribute to the nation's economic growth. We believe that by investing in our youth of today, we can unlock the innovative solutions, enhance food productivity, and ensure a more sustainable and food secure future for all. As we are to launch this initiative, we are excited about the potential for positive change and impact. We look forward to working together to empower our youth, strengthen our communities, and cultivate a more sustainable tomorrow for a better Ghana.
A former Northern Regional Director of the National Youth Authority, Eric Benson Jan Ansa, urged the youth to leverage technology to improve their crops.
Youth can leverage on technology such as mobile app, drones to enhance agricultural productivity, sustainable practices. Young people can promote and adopt sustainable farming practices like organic farming, agroforestry, and conservation.
Two beneficiaries said they have received smart agricultural training and resources to help improve their yield.
The Executive Director of the Center for Indigenous Knowledge and Organizational Rule in the country development, Ben Guri, has called on Ghanaians to embrace indigenous knowledge. He also encouraged the public to revive the culture of consuming local food, stating that doing so would not only improve their health, but also help reduce medical expenses. Ben Guri made a call during the launch of the Ghana University Movement for Agroecology at the Simon Diedong Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies in WAM. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafik Palam reports.
Pogna Veronica Sangwe Brother First, also known in her private life as Veronica Sangwe, is a retired educationist. The 68-year-old mother of four was enskinned as a divisional queen mother of Kani in the Lambuse district. The colorful ceremony was attended by people from all walks of life, including paramount, divisional and sub-chiefs, where the rich traditional culture of the people was in display. Additionally, 13 sub-divisional queen mothers and 1 sub-chief in the Kane catchment area were also enskinned to support the newly enskinned divisional queen mother in promoting development of the area. Pona Veronica Sangwe Brother First, after the enskinment, shared a plan for the community with Joy News.
My plans for this community is to bring togetherness to the women, and we support our men for development, especially in our work. We are vulnerable here. We need support. And to do so, we have to come together as women, form groups that can help us to bring peace and success.
The chief of Kani, Na Edward Kansonoro Kala the First, who was enskinned last year, called on the government and non-governmental organizations to come to their aid to rehabilitate their dam, which he says is at the edge of breaking down.
But we have so many challenges in Kani, so I hope with this number of queen mothers supporting their chiefs, we shall succeed as a community. If anybody has Kani at heart, we wish that they should support us to reconstruct or rehabilitate our dam that is breaking down. Our dam gives water to so many communities in the Grappa district and even Lambuse district, animals to drink. And if that dam should break down completely, animals will not have water.
District Chief Executive for Lambuse, Naul Irenius Basimbie, called for peace as it is a means to development.
The only way we can get development within the community is through peace. As a DC, I am prepared to work with every chief around because we need development for the community as well as the Lambuse Usul. And I, as I stand here, I pledge to support the chiefs around for to get the needed development that we needed in the Kane escalate to the least whatever they needed. It will be. They also work with the women. The women are vulnerable and they are actually making them grow better. Now that they have the queen mothers, they're going to help her to have a better development as they always prepare to support the men for the developmental projects.
Also present at the function was the paramount chief of the Jiruba Tourism area, Nadina Donlobongana III.
It is gratifying to see that our cherished customs are not fading away, but rather are being reinterpreted and renewed through the younger generations. To the newly enskinned sub-chief and divisional queen mother and sub-queen mothers, leadership is not in the title, but in the service.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Kane.
That report filed by my colleague Rafik Salam rather highlights the concerns being raised by the newly enskinned divisional queen mother of Kani. She is appealing to women in the Lambuse district of the Upper West region to unite and support their very own. Now, let me bring you that report I told you about earlier, also filed by my colleague Rafiq Salam, that highlights some of the key concerns being raised by non-governmental organization, Chico.
The initiative by the Center for Indigenous Knowledge and Organizational Development, CICOD, is part of transforming the African food system to sustainability task project under the theme My Food is African, who strives to revive the practice of eating indigenous foods. Beyond its symbolic significance, the campaign served as a catalyst for tangible change, advocating for the intrinsic value of traditional indigenous foods amidst the detrimental impacts of profit-oriented industrial food systems. CICOD, after piloting the initiative in 6 basic schools in the one municipality, decided to roll it up at the tertiary level, starting with the Simon J. Dondombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies, SDDU-BITS. Deputy Executive Director of CICOD, Daniel Bonoku, explained further.
It's a student movement put together by student interns who had participated in an internship program at the Center for Indigenous Knowledge and Organizational Development. At the time of their internship, we had just launched the My Food is African campaign, which they played a very active part in taking the campaign to 6 schools in the one municipality, reaching over 6,000 school children. And as an outcome of that, the students themselves have decided that as university students, it was necessary to take the conversation about the food systems transformation and agroecology into the university community, not just within the Upper West region, but the aim is basically to spread the movement to all universities across Ghana and get students involved in this conversation about transforming the African food system to sustainability. Because the future of our food system is agroecology, and the future is the youth.
The launch of the program at the SDDU-based new auditorium has students from the university and from all 16 regions in the country showcasing their rich traditional dances and the foods from their respective regions. Coordinator for Industrial Attachment at SDDU-BITS, Dr. George Derry, who also doubles as the patron for the Ghana University Movement for Agroecology, GUMA, lauded CICOD for the initiative, especially coming at a time the livelihoods of the people is under threat as a result of illegal mining.
The most important thing we need to also know is that our food is under threat. Our water is under threat. If we don't rise up, we will lose our identity as a people. One great gift that we have as a nation that we tend not to recognize is the varied foods that we prepare. That strengthens us, that gives us all the nutrients to grow and be healthy. It's under threat, and we need to stand up.
Executive Director of CICOD, Ben Guri, spoke about the need to embrace indigenous initiatives.
If not for our indigenous systems, if not for what our ancestors have developed, probably will not exist today. But the fact that we are still existing today shows that they have knowledge, they have their own systems, which can be system till today. And so we believe that for any development, we must start from the indigenous knowledge system.
Adding more traditional and cultural color, touch and tease to the grand occasion was the paramount queen of Sang, Pogna Salmachana Abdurazak, who encouraged them to spread the news about the need to consume hygienic local foods.
Be conscious of what you eat. I would like to end here, but make sure you tell another person when you get out of here that it is important to always ask yourself this: the food I'm eating, how will it help me? If it will not help me, don't eat it. And when you have this knowledge, your children, you will impact this to them, your family, you will impact this to them, then the cycle is broadened. Then our work is being done.
Also present at the launch was Canadian social change advocates Dr. David Fletcher and his wife, David Castle, with the former being an alumni of University for Development Studies. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Away from MWA, scientists at the Corps Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research are adopting strategic and environmental-friendly efforts to restore lands and forests heavily degraded by overexploitation through illegal mining, logging and agriculture. They observe the near extinction of some indigenous crops and tree species in rural communities in Ghana, including taro roots crop, mahogany and odum, under a new project to conserve biodiversity and sustain life. 25 hectares of degraded lands in Ghana and Kenya are expected to be restored while revitalizing the endangered crops. There's more in the full report.
In 2022, Ghana lost 18,000 hectares of primary forest, almost 70% increase from 2021. It represented the biggest leap in forest loss of any country in recent years. Illegal mining, overexploitation through illicit logging and agriculture are the attributable causes for the increasing depletion and degradation. Newton Anobo Etuahene is the district manager of the Forestry Commission in Bichim.
About endangered species, we can talk about almost all the indigenous species in the country, although they are found everywhere. But I must also add that the more you are cutting it and you are not planting, you are not replacing them, then almost all the trees are endangered. For instance, now you go to the forest and you hardly get odum, you hardly get cocrodia, you hardly get mahogany, and almost all the restricted species we have in Ghana.
The environmental havoc is seeing some of Ghana's indigenous crops and trees go extinct and others neglected for culinary and medicinal purposes. The situation leaves farmers distraught as Ghana is failing to preserve some of its precious staples. We no longer can find taro crops. There is a local yam known as Entrentre that's also not found. The Crops Research Institute is spearheading the chart to empower local communities to restore degraded ecosystems, preserve biodiversity, and promote sustainable farming practices, under the engaging local communities in minor crops utilization for bioconservation and livelihood enrichment. Scientists are seeking to promote afforestation and agroforestry conservation. Launched in 2024, Principal Investigator Clement Opom highlights activities conducted so far under the 3-year project.
So we surveyed about 41 communities in Ghana and went ahead to do about 25 or so in Kenya. And out of that, we selected 15 communities and then 10 communities, so 15 communities in Ghana and then 10 communities in Kenya. And these numbers also represent hectares of land. So it means that in total, we are looking at restoring about 25 hectares of degraded lands in both Ghana and Kenya. Since we are also looking at revitalizing marginal or neglected crops in our food system, we've also gone further to collect some of the farmer saved seeds that they have, in their barns. And then what we are doing now at our end is we are multiplying them, which would later reintroduce in the farmsteads that will be establishing within these 25 communities across these 2 countries.
Director of the Crops Research Institute, Dr. Maxoda Kwasante, is positive of enhanced food security under the project.
It is important that we don't just think about yields and monocropping and doing large acreages of rice or maize. We must also think about the environment and our minor crops and our indigenous crops, so that the whole ecosystem runs together and is very balanced for our sustenance and the sustenance of the future generation.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
Over 6,000 women in 5 cocoa-producing communities in the Ashanti and Central region have been empowered with logistical support to reduce post-harvest losses. It follows a preliminary assessment which discovered many farmers who grow rice in addition to cocoa, especially females, lacked modern agro-processing tools to cultivate and harvest cocoa. This contributed to the country's failed attempt to reach rice self-sufficiency targets in 2024. There's more in the following report.
Ghana anticipated to reach rice self-sufficiency in 2024, but this failed to materialize as the country currently has low production levels below market demands. Aside from the environmental impact on production, logistical challenges continue to fraught the rice value chain. Care Ghana, in partnership with Cargill, provided over 6,000 women in cocoa-producing communities with agro-processing equipment. Samuel Apana is the country operations and sustainability manager at Cargill Ghana.
We have provided them with rice threshers, provided them with tricycles to be able to move their products around so that they will be able to produce in large quantities, produce efficiently, and be able to earn decent income to support their households. We also believe that when women are economically empowered, the issue of child labor is addressed, because poverty is one of the key issues that contribute to child labor within the cocoa supply chain.
The participating communities included Kofor Camp, KD Sreso, Pasoro, Aigbo, and Tankwase. The women received 3 rice threshers, 10 tarpaulins, 5 weighing scales, and 5 motorized tricycles. Godfred Apia Ichampong is the Shanti Regional Director of the Food and Agric Ministry.
As highlighted in the project's recent market assessment, the lack of modern processing equipment remains one of the biggest challenges faced by women in agro-processing, especially within cassava, rice, and palm oil value chains. These tools will enhance efficiency, reduce post-harvest losses, and open up access to better markets.
Launched in 2016, the Promoting a Sustainable and Food Secured World project seeks to strengthen inclusive governance, enhance women's participation in decision-making, improve food and nutrition security, and access to education and child protection. Zakaria Yakubu is the head of programs at Care Ghana.
So the project has so far mobilized over 888 women groups who are now mobilizing resources through the Susu group called VSLAs. Apart from the formation of VSLA to enhance lending activities among the groups, we've also trained the members in various entrepreneurial skills, because we want to promote entrepreneurship among women in the cocoa growing areas.
The project has since reached over 77,000 participants, 60% of whom are women. Some beneficiaries spoke to Joy News. Producing rice in Ghana comes with a lot of drudgery. Sometimes when we harvest the rice, we have to put them on a cloth, and when the rain sets in, it destroys them. These tools will help us a lot. We are grateful for these tools. It is going to go a long way to help us. For Joy Business, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
You're still watching Joy Newsroom. We'll be back after this quick turn. Please stay tuned in. Thanks for staying with us. Now, it is the final day of the first mini clinic of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, and it's happening now at the Achimota Retail Center. Let me take you there live. My colleague Jacqueline Ansmayebwa is on the grounds for us. Jackie, I'm sure you've been engaging patrons as well as exhibitors. What's happening?
To you and our lovely viewers, we come to you live from the Achimota Retail Center. It's the last day of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Clinic happening here. And it's been an amazing 3 days so far. A lot of people came through on the Thursday. Yesterday was amazing. And you know, because it's Sunday, a lot of people yesterday was amazing. And you know, because it's Sunday, a lot of people are coming through around this time because it's after church. And most people are passing by to make sure that they're sorted out when it comes to their home stuff and all that. But today it's raining discounts, yes. So after this, I think everyone watching us right now, you should pass by the Achimota Retail Center for
for yours. But real quick, we would want to engage some of the exhibitors here. We want to engage, we want to get closer to Interplus now. We haven't spoken to them since they started. Interplus, you're live on Joy News. Good afternoon, how are you?
Good afternoon, we are very fine, thank you.
How are sales going so far?
Everything is going on smoothly, yes, as expected.
Okay, so can you take us through some of the stuff so that anyone watching us right now will have a reason to move from their house to come here this afternoon?
So, first of all, we have our Everlast windows and then the doors. This is a sample here.
Oh, okay.
And then we also have our pipes. This is the HDP, UPVC, PPR. We have this Incor pipe. It's for electrical and then French drain. And then we also have our irrigation items. This is a brochure of irrigation. So these are just a few of the items we're dealing.
Okay, but so far, how has sales been? Today is the last day. What do you have for us?
We are expecting the customers to come in more and more. And then also for the first day, because due to the race, we had a low number of customers.
I'll say it was blessings.
So I would like to share the contacts and then our location with. So you can contact us on 0302 819 000, or you can locate us on the Spintex Road. We are adjacent to the Printex Company Limited.
Okay, all right. That is Interplus. I mean, they've been with us for quite some time now. But let me get closer and speak to our head of sales and marketing, Max Fuga. Max, how has it been? The first day, the second day, today is the last day. A little birdie told me that today is raining plenty discounts.
Plenty discounts. The first day here was good. After the rains, it picked up. Yesterday was super. And today, so far, so good. Excellent. You can see around, people are walking in, engaging the exhibitors, and getting good deals. Yeah. In fact, today is what we call a Super Sunday. And so we were able to engage our exhibitors ahead of time to give heavy discounts today. So far, so good. It's very exciting. People are buying things a lot, from doors to even EV cars.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, people have been asking, when is the next clinic?
The next clinic will be next month at the Accra Mall. From the Accra Mall, we are going to Tema. From Tema, we are going to Koforidua, which is the new addition this year. And then the main fair will take place in August at the Accra International Conference Center.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. I will definitely get interactive with you later on. But then we are still here at the Achimota Mall, and we're still engaging them. But then let me come to automation. Now, Automation Ghana, is this your first time being part of the Habitat Fair?
So we've been in several fairs, but I think this is the first time we have been here. Yeah.
With the EcoBank Joy News.
Exactly.
How has it been? 3 days?
Oh, it's been very entertaining. I mean, people have been coming around. I mean, I think it's a good business opportunity for us. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
All right. When we say automation, we want you to take us through some of the stuff that you have here. I see some calculators. Calculators.
Instruments.
Hey, instruments. Okay. So
we have a clamp meter.
Oh, okay.
So basically, these are for electricians.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So this is what I saw, and I said it was a calculator. I didn't see it well, so it's not a calculator.
Yeah. So aside that, we also have CCTV cameras.
Oh, okay.
So we do camera installation as well as sales of cameras. So this one is a portable camera that you can mount in your house. As long as you have internet connectivity, you can be able to view wherever you are in the house. Yeah.
Right. And what other stuff that you also have here?
So what you see here is an automatic changeover. So when you have two sources of power in your house, you will need something to be in between, as to switch as I went. So that's a changeover. So that's what it does. So it switch in between the source of power you have, whether ECD is available. If not, then it's able to bring in the alternate source of power. Aside that, we also sell physical components. Like you can see MCCDs, contactors, a lot. I mean, we just got a few of our items here. Yeah, we're also into smart installation. I think as you can see.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
What is going on there.
Yeah. Sure. So aside that, we also sell physical components like the DBs, the distribution boards, switches and sockets. Also, you can come around and have a look. Yeah. That's a distribution. So it means every house or every property owner needs a DB. Okay. So aside this, we also build panels as well. So depending on the size that you want. So this, what you see here, can cost you 650 cedis.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, we represent different brands in Ghana. So we represent Siemens, Schneider. We represent so many of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, you heard from Automation Ghana. Now, as a newbie, as part of this year's Habitat Fair, did you have? Would you say that your expectations have been met?
Oh yes, of course. I mean, initially it was quite slow. The response was quite slow, but I think as the day goes by, we get more people coming in to do more requests. So today has been a very busy day for me. As you can see, I'm sweating profusely on my face. Yeah. So thank you so much for this platform to market ourselves and what we sell. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, you just heard that from Automation Ghana. You need to definitely pass by here. Now, I saw one patron. Hello, sir. How are you? You are live on Joy News right now. I think you are currently with Automation Ghana. How is it going for you?
It's been good so far, and we've seen a few exhibitors here. That we've seen some doors. We are now at the automation place with the Automation Ghana to know how their services are.
Sure. I mean, the general overview of the Habitat Fair so far, because I'm not sure this is the only place you came to. You've checked other stuff at the other side too.
Yes, we have. I think we went all the way to the end there, and I think all the services you need concerning a building, everything that you need to get a building done, you can get it once you get here. So I'll urge everyone to come over.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Enjoy your time. Well, we're still live here at the Achimota Retail Center. We are still live here. And hello, sir. Good afternoon. You're live on Joy News now.
Good afternoon.
How you've been moving through? How's it going so far?
Not bad. At least I'm seeing things that I'm expecting to see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you were expecting to see?
Okay. I came here purposely to check on doors.
Oh, okay.
And I think I've seen some good doors over there. I'm into construction, so I'm looking for good doors to complete a project.
So the doors that you've seen, are they good enough for you?
Yes. I mean, they have variety, so it is up to you to choose what you want and based on what you have.
Yeah, so
yes.
you've also gotten some experts' advice.
Yes, they've given me some advice, and I'll see their showroom course of the week. I'll visit their showroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that is one patron here, and he is very optimistic, saying that he would definitely visit the showroom here. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Saw you earlier. You were moving around. Have you spotted anything that you like so far?
I really like several things, but the solar package is my favorite so far because, you know, the electricity goes out. You have to have a supply. And so we really, really like that.
Definitely. Now, I mean, your general overview of the Habitat Fair so far, you've been to other stands here too, right?
I have. I definitely have. The doors, the front doors, but these metal doors on the second end, oh my goodness, they're absolutely wonderful because you can protect yourself. And there are a lot of us diasporans who are coming here who are single and older, and we definitely need that additional security.
All right, but I'm pretty sure you're getting them too.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. And what's your name?
I'm Jacqueline.
Miss Eli. Thank you so much, Jacqueline.
Well, yeah, so it's amazing here. I'm having conversations with the patrons right here at the Achimota Retail Center. And just as Max said, it's raining discounts today, so wherever you find yourself, you need to pass by. This could be your last chance to own that home, that electronic vehicle, or even all the interior stuff that you'd need for your home. This is the perfect opportunity for you to come here. Today's Habitat Fair closes around 8 p.m. so we still have time to, or you still have time to make it here and get all you need sorted out. Over to you back in the studio.
And Jackie, I'll be there with you just before the mini clinic ends. Well, I've made the decision. I'm getting a property this year, so I'll be there just to get all the discounts and ensure that I'm on track. And you're still watching Joy Newsroom. My name is Faustina Safu. Please, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us to Business Stories now. The first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zachariah Mumuni, has disclosed that Africa loses approximately $4 billion annually to cyber fraud. Speaking at the 2025 Africa Financial Inclusion Policy Initiative meeting in Accra, Dr. Mumuni emphasized the urgent need to build resilient financial infrastructure underpinned by strong systems of integrity.
To services in Africa, the role of financial regulators. Addressing the forum, the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zakaria Mumuni, underscored the growing threat that cybercrime poses to the financial sector.
Cybercrime is not a distant risk. It is a present danger. In 2022, for instance, in Ghana alone, we recorded over 21,000 cyber fraud attempts in the financial sector, most targeting digital platforms. Across Africa, the cost of cybercrime is estimated to have exceeded $4 billion annually, according to Interpol. And this reality underscores a simple truth. Financial inclusion without system integrity is unsustainable. Cybersecurity is no longer an IT issue. It is a strategic imperative at the core of financial governance.
CEO of the Alliance for Financial Inclusion, Dr. Alfred Hannon, also emphasized the need for improved systems and safeguards, especially to protect the most vulnerable segments of the population.
Digitalization is transforming economies and the financial ecosystem fast. As a matter of fact, as we all know and we all enjoy, financial services have become more accessible to lower income individuals, costs have been reduced, and service quality has been improved and service reach has been broadened. We do recognize that the rise, especially of digital payments and transfers, has been one of the key developments that actually has been driving the rapid increase of access and usage on the continent. However, we also realize that there are risks of technologies. Technologies comes with risks, which, as you all know, could have dramatic consequences, especially for the vulnerable. Because if we don't get it right, poor people can lose the little they have in just one day.
The 14th Annual Roundtable of Leaders of the African Financial Inclusion Policy Initiative was jointly organized by the Bank of Ghana and the Alliance for Financial Inclusion. The event served as a high-level platform for leaders from AFI member institutions across Africa.
And that's how we wrap up the bulletin. Up next is the law. Please stay tuned in.